So welcome along guys to a fabulous quick floral. Are you ready for this? I think so. So shall we get started? Very simple but some great little ideas, so keep them peeled. I'm going to start off with Peter the Propelling Pencil, the PPP man. Okay, let's start off a nice little square. There it is, there's one side. Line down, so remember the dot method. Put your dots down. I do the long one for a start, then one in the middle. Now it's only a guesstimate, yeah, but it works. Okay, yeah, aim for that dot, then that one. Nice little square, no ruler needed. You've already saved money, guys, you've already saved money. Okay, are you ready for the flower? Now this is very difficult, very difficult. Okay, how big do we want the flower? Let's have it to about there to there, so we've got a little bit of space either side, one to there and one to there. Okay, you ready for the flower? Ziggity zag, biggity dig, diggity do. All we're doing is, sound like I'm casting a spell, guys, I'm not. All we're doing is up and down. Sometimes they're a little bit circular, sometimes they're a bit triangular. It doesn't really matter because they will change throughout the painting, which is actually very quick, so don't blink. Okay, now I need to find the centre, which let's make it about that size. All I'm doing is measuring in roughly from either edge, just by eyesight. 4 little dots. In those, I put another little dot that's just slightly further out than these two. That gives me a nice little dot to aim for. And if you run over the dots, you don't have to, but if you run over them, they disappear. So guess what we've just done, guys? We've done a flower. I'm going to put a little stem just here. I can easily do that without the line work. That's all we need. That is how simple it is. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a quick dip in the lake and then run around the field, and I'll be back in a couple of moments. So see you then. So welcome back, guys. Ready for a bit of painting? I've just had a towel off, that water was cold, but I'm going to use Big Brian, and he's never cold, he's a great guy. Big round-ended brush, half filled with water, yeah? All I'm going to do is this, just drag either out or, depending, that's in, that's out. Depending what's the best angle for you, yeah? Don't be twisting your arm around too much. You don't need to, just alter the way you place the paint down. So that's the first colour. It's not even a colour, Andrew. That is the first bit of water. Now, I'll dry the brush a little bit. Let's pick up some lemon yellow. So don't dive into the colour with the water on your brush too much. Put a bit on and get it moving, then add a bit more if you need to. Okay, that's quite thick stuff. We're going for cream strength. And all we're doing is put it there in the centre. Boing, 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 boing. Make the sound effects if you like. We get a few in place, but all of them are going out from the centre, like that. Yeah? Like they're going to a party. Okay, I'm not covering every little area. I'm leaving some slightly lower and pushing some a bit higher. What I'm looking for is a bit of a variation. Clean the old brush there, dab it on some white tissue. Bit of water again. Cadmium orange to a coffee strength, yeah? I'm going to start about halfway this time, just buoying it a bit. I'm not pushing it out so far. Once I've got the first colour on, I can go in the centre, sorry if I didn't mention that. Remember, if you've wetted the paper and there's liquid paint on there, it's going to bleed. What's it going to do? Exactly, bleed. So it's going to keep moving. So if you push that all the way over there, it's still going to go. So give it a bit more of a walk, a little bit of a walk, yeah? So got that on. Now, strangely enough, on a yellow flower, I'm going to throw in a little bit of Daniel Smith's Rose Opera to a coffee strength. Boom, 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 Boom. Now notice what's happening. You may have done, you may not have done, but I'm keeping the colours, the darker they get, more to this side of the flower. Yeah? Reason for that is the light's coming from over here. Somebody's got a torch on over there and they're sitting in the dark here. So we're trying to get the light and dark effect within the object. Ooh. One more colour. Let's throw a bit of this on, a bit of mauve, coffee strength. Only a few dabs this side. Yeah? Isn't that beautiful? Well done. Isn't that beautiful? So, now I'm going to let that actually dry. Yeah, strangely enough, I'm going to let it dry. So by the beauty of speedy uppiness, I'll see you when this is dry. So, magical. So welcome back, guys. Let us get a bit more on. So that's all dry now. Yeah, I'm going to use Big Brian still. What I'm going to do, tiny little dabs of water, nothing much at all in that centerpiece. Yeah. Then I'm going to dive in with royal blue. Now what I'm doing is just tapping around the edge, the outer edge of the centre, and I'm trying, half successfully, leave a few little gaps in the centre. Taking off the colour, off the brush. Look, Big Bri, he likes a wash. Every month he has a wash without fail. Indian red, cream strength. And I'm sorry, I forgot to say that the blue was cream strength as well, so that's quite thick stuff. Try and just bounce it about. I don't actually drag the brush like that, just bounce it about like I don't know what. Yeah, okay, there's the Indian red. Wash that brush, dive in there, Big Brian, dive in the pool of water. Let's go for mauve. Yeah, there it is, thick stuff, pick plenty up. Then I dab that in to the Indian red. Yeah, smashing indeed. Right, okay. Yeah, no, let's just leave it there. There's me fiddling about. Right, okay, Miss Rigger, would you care to join us? Would you care to dance, Miss Rigger? Would you care to dance? Into the water, and then I dab a bit off. So that's how I control the water. You can't control it by putting it into the water and just guessing. I put a lot on, and then I dab some off. Yeah, little trick, guys. What I'm going to do now is just drop some droplets into the centre. Now I'm hoping, with my fingers crossed, these will make some little blobby marks. Yeah, that's all I need, blobby marks. Right, okay. Notice how many times I can clean that brush. Leaving that. Now I'm picking up water again, taking some off. No paint at all this time. Now these little marks we made, I'm looking at those to see if they make any sense. Now then, there's two things we can do here. Put the brush into the centre and drag it out, but that's very specific. What I do to start is put the brush down, place it on the painting, drag it towards the centre, and look at that, dive out. Now, do it again, just there, there's water, 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 hits a reservoir of pigment, and it rolls along it. So all I'm trying to do is just break this down into a few little stems, not stems, little petals. It's more difficult for me to paint this way because it's the wrong angle, but because of the filming, that's what I'm doing. But you can alter your paper about. Now I'm back to a good angle. That's what I say about altering your painting position to help you out. Water, you see, water. And it's a nice little surprise when you go that way. Oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, look at that. Artist, put the brush down, place it on the painting, drag it towards the centre, and look at that, dive out. Now, do it again, just there, there's water, 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 hits a reservoir of pigment, and it rolls along it. So all I'm trying to do is just break this down into a few little stems, not stems, little petals. It's more difficult for me to paint this way because it's the wrong angle, but because of the filming, that's what I'm doing. But you can alter your paper about. Now I'm back to a good angle. That's what I say about altering your painting position to help you out. water, you see, water. And it's a nice little surprise when you go that way. Oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, look at that. Boom, boom. Now you're always going to get a petal that's at the front, you know, the big petal, nudged away to the front. So what we're doing, these are the front ones, then these are the ones behind, because they're not just in a ring of roses, are they? The ones in front, pop outside, even if it's raining, even if it's snowing. Go and have a look outside, go and look at a petal or a flower, and some petals are in front, some are behind. So I've got a little ring of roses on. Now I'm going to add a few down the middle. Now don't worry where they stop, you see. You might be thinking, well, you should stop there. Oh no, we're loose. This is what you do. Even do that, look, backwards and forwards. These are those fine little veins on the flower. Yeah? We're not overly sure which are in front and which are behind, but all those colours we placed down are now encapsulated within the flower. See that? Those little dots we left, quite useful. Turned out to be quite useful. A little bit of purple on Miss Rigger. I'm just going to add a little bit more to the centre while I'm there. Not right at the edge, more central, but towards the right hand side. Quite a few instructions in that little piece. Reason for that, this is still wet, this will bleed and it'll stop when it gets to about here. If I start here, it'll bleed all the way along these little veins, which can look quite nice, but I prefer not to do that at the moment. Oh, I'm a bit busy. Okay, we've got that on, guys. We've got that on. Still wet, still doing its stuff. Right. Don't let me fool you by wafting Mini Dave across the thing. I'm going to use Dangerous Dave. Yeah. Now we're going to put the surround on. Bit of water. Now I'm just putting it in the corners at the moment because I don't know where I'm going with this. Quite often I ain't got a clue what I'm doing, but it does work. Okay, water, nice reservoirs of pigment. I'm going to start with royal blue. I'm going to make that quite thick so that's creamy. Now, all I'm doing here is just pulling it gently towards the flower. So a bit down here. And these make great big nice pockets of pigment for me to dip into. It's like children dipping into your purse or wallet when they want pocket money, or oh, could you just, you know what I mean. Well, we can do it with paint. Now what I'm starting to do here is gently shape the end of the petals, and you'll have a rough idea where to put them. You don't have to look for the lines, just imagine goes to there, then it goes back to there. Imagine goes to there, back to there. Leave a few little gaps in the blue as well. That looks quite nice. Now, I've took that to about halfway. Now I've got some cobalt blue, just a little bit darker. Let's get a nice reservoir in that corner, somewhere to have your picnic. Okay, so I've got a reservoir to about there. Carry on here, a little dab down. Now, this will be interesting. I'm just going to make a new one up there. It's just white on the edge of that one. Oh, look, but it's now encapsulated. Yeah. And that's it. Let's use purple. Cream strength. Now, by the time I got here, this is getting I did put a reservoir of water there, but it's a bit dry now, but it doesn't matter, I've put enough on. Yeah. Okay, dabbing and dabbing. So now I'm starting to ignore the drawing a bit. I can still just see it there, but I'm ignoring it because it doesn't fit in with the way things have fallen. I place these on and I don't need to follow it anymore. Don't need to follow it that rigidly. Right, I'm just going to boing, 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 boing. Just a few little bits of this colour just to bring it together. Okay, so not far off, guys, not far off. think one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bit of white. This is, I think, titanium white. Doesn't really matter what it is. Nice opaque one. Use Miss Rigger. I'm going to use that to about as thick as I can get it, basically. I should have used a knife and fork. And a few little dabs in the centre. Not too many. See how it spreads out. Top edge. And I'll just throw a few. No, I tell you what I'm going to actually splatter a few. Boom. By gum. By gum. That was just a bit of splatter on there. It'll bleed in. It'll actually diffuse and go quite soft. But we'll be okay with that. Right. Splatter. I'll use orange. I was thinking of lemon yellow, but no. It's too light. So a little bit of splatter. And actually, I'm going to splatter them into this background. You see, things just occur to you. They do to me, so start letting things occur. So, oh, what would that look like? So I think in there it looks quite nice. Bit of a sort of antique-y look to it. Very last thing, I just want to go in with a bit more purple again in the centre. And the longer you allow it to dry, the less it will bleed. So in leaving that on there for a few moments, maybe a minute or so, now it's actually not bleeding much at all. So there we have it, guys. There is our wonderful little flower created very swiftly and with the aid of the superb loose gang brushes, we're now there. So give it a go, enjoy your painting time, and I shall catch you all again very, very soon.